Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a very quick video for people who are trying to figure out how to wire in their LED lights into their older G-Wagon. In this case, this is a 2002 G-Wagon with a 2016 facelift, and a lot of these don't come with the wires that are supposed to work with the LED lights. So for the longest time, I was trying to figure out how to wire this up to make it work. I have tried to wire it into the old fog light wires. You can see them right there, the green and the brown. They did work, but they flickered. And of course, people would say to add a canvas, do this, do that. And I wasn't really too familiarized with that sort of stuff. But luckily, one of my G-Wagon buddies, here's his Instagram. Hit him up if you have any questions, or if you want to check out his channel on his builds. Give him a follow, of course. Well, luckily, he helped me out and he explained to me how everything works, and I finally got it to work. Here's what you have to do. Pretty much, you will have to pick up one of these. They sell them on eBay, Amazon, pretty much everywhere. They're very cheap. It's a little canvas resistor, or just a resistor. But before I show you how to do this, there's a couple of ways of doing it. One way is to, of course, wire it into the old fog lights. So whenever you turn the light all the way to the right and you pop out, the fog lights should turn on, and that's when the LEDs will work. The second route would be to, of course, tap it into the fuse box right here. Should be the upper row of fuses. And you will need one of these connectors. You put your old fuse on the bottom slot and then the new one on the top slot. And then you wire in your new wires with the resistor to this. And they should turn on as soon as you turn the lights on. But the third option, that's what I'm going with, and there's a reason why. Pretty much these are the depot aftermarket headlights that my G-Wagon came with. And there's a little city light bulb that's in there. There's one on this side and one on the other side. And my lights don't really match because the top light is an LED and it's a nice bright white, but the bottom one is a yellow or like orangish tint, which looks really bad. I can put up a picture on the screen of what it looks like right now. And I always hated it, and I tried getting some LED built-in canvas ones, which those didn't work. They flickered, of course. So pretty much what my buddy recommended, just because I want to get rid of this. You can go with the other routes, but I went with this one just because of this. So of course you want to splice it off. Then what you want to do is take off your headlight, run the wires that go to the city light through one of the holes where all the wires go to. You can splice longer wires if you'd like. But here's the connector to the city light. Pretty much the reason why mine looks different from yours is because I replaced mine because all my wires and connectors were really corroded. So pretty much pretend this is your OEM one. And what I did is this. You hook up the connector wires to the canvas right here. Of course, positive on the positive side, and then negative on the negative side. And I splice them together to this connector right here. It's called a Spade connector. I bought this kit from Amazon. It's got all the little pieces and bits, and these are the silicone, whatever. These are the covers for them. And yeah, you pretty much have to wire in your LED positive light and the city light positive to this resistor, and same thing for the negative. And mine came with these connectors right here. I'm not exactly sure what they're for. I think they're for the newer models, but I just zip tied it off and I'm gonna move it out of the way. And I'm pretty much done with the installation. The only thing I have left to do is to mount this somewhere on the truck, somewhere where it's not gonna touch anything else, because these get really hot. But I'm most likely gonna put it onto the frame and self-tap it. But just to show you, this one's not connected, so ignore that. Let's get into the truck, turn the light on all the way to the right. And you can see the city light is no longer there. That looks so much better than before. And voila, there's the LED strip. This looks so much better and so much cleaner, and there's no flickering. Which you will notice some flickering from my LED Exito lights, which I'm personally not a huge fan of, but I'm just going to deal with it. But yeah, that looks a lot better. I'm going to go ahead and put this piece back on, self-tap into the frame, and show you what it looks like towards the end. And just to show you the codes, ignore that, I have to replace the sensor. This one's for the license plate bulbs, which I'm working on right now. But, bam. This looks so much better. The thing is, I only added the resistor just on this side, but on the other side, I didn't add a resistor. I literally pulled out the whole entire connector, but I left the bulb in there, and I actually hid the connector inside the headlight. And you can't really see that the light is on inside just because the LED is also on. If you want to, you could add some little plugs right there. It's actually a pain to get to, so that's why I didn't. But if that's something you want to do to cover up the hole, you can, but you can't really see any other form of lights in there. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, once again, huge shout out for giving me a hand with this. And I hope this helped you guys with your issues. I hope this answered a lot of questions. And yeah, let me know if you want to see anything else.